We're gonna be reacting to one of my favorite self-tape auditions today. When I saw this for the first time, I was like, this breaks basically every single self-tape audition rule, and yet it's the best self-tape I think I've seen. You've probably seen it yourself. This is from Dacre Montgomery. He plays the role of Billy in Stranger Things, and this is his self-tape audition that got him the role.
Hi, I'm Dacre, and I'm going for the role of Billy.
You may have missed it, but there's a lot actually to talk about just in that slate alone. First of all, he's shirtless. I am sure nowhere in that request did it ask the actor to be shirtless. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. So the fact that he made a choice of like, yeah, I'm probably gonna be playing this role, maybe this would make sense, maybe this will stand out in this audition, and did it? It probably really stood out against all the other submissions that they received. The other thing that he did is he walked into the frame almost as character, okay? Or close to already playing that Billy character. So he wasn't walking in as himself, you know, Dacre. Of course he wasn't, we know that because Dacre is Australian. And there was no Australian accent in that slate. So he's walking in already as character. And I think that starts to help sell it, especially to a casting director seeing this for the very first time. It probably would have been somewhat jarring for a casting director to hear the Australian accent first and then see it, versus just going right into it like he did. The other thing that you probably completely missed here is that at the end of his slate, he kind of cracked his neck and his knuckles. He wasn't just standing there flat as an actor, kind of reading and going through the slate. He was as character and gave us something, like a doing that his character would do, and really it starts to draw us automatically into this performance right off the bat, and we didn't even know why. You know, subliminally, maybe he put in this title card, which I'm noticing now actually for the very first time that it's red. Stranger Things red, perhaps?
He wasn't planning on taking that.
That was probably a good solid 5, 6, 7 seconds even before the actor even began to talk in the scene. A lot of actors will just, oh, the scene starts, bam, they get their first line of dialogue. No, he started to draw us in by not saying anything. That he walked in nice and slow as character, took his time, settled in. What that shows me is we have an actor that's got very good control over their performance. He didn't get spooked into this. He didn't worry about people sitting there waiting 7 seconds to get into the material. He started a scene. He drew us in. And here we go.
Body from me, were you?
I love that he's not looking at the reader yet, which becomes very important as we get into this a little bit later on because of the impact it's gonna have when he does decide to look. Check it out.
You get away, man. I found him. I got dibs.
Oh, I guess I should start running. You got dibs.
You guys see that right there, how powerful that becomes? Very intentional from the get-go. An actor that's got great control over their performance.
I earned him. You came in a car. That's not fair. He's mine.
That's not fair. He's mine. Well, not anymore.
The other thing to note here is how incredibly still he is in this performance. He is locked on, laser focused with his eyes. A lot of new actors, they have what's called darting eyes, as we refer to it in the business. They just go all over the place for no particular reason. It doesn't look that great on camera. And actors that look very cinematic and can play these moments extraordinarily well are generally very, very still. Dacre's got this down.
Now listen, you got 2 choices. Either you go quietly and I take the body, or you stay, I beat the crap out of you, and I still take the body.
Okay, so did you guys notice this? He was actually able to use his frame, which isn't moving. He moved, and he moved into the frame to create a more dramatic moment, okay? Again, he didn't just randomly do that. It added to the scene, it made it more intense, and he was able to kind of change the scene, the beat of the scene, by knowing and using his frame to his advantage to tell that story.
The way you beat the crap out of John Brown.
Okay, Chambers, you little shit. This is your last chance. Easy way, hard way.
He's using his full body in his acting. His hands are coming up. A lot of actors, again, it starts getting flat. They do all their acting up here in their face, and their full body isn't into their performance. Not the case here.
What do you say?
Why don't you go screw your mother some more?
You are dead, kid.
You're gonna have to kill me, Billy.
Oh, I got no problem with that. Okay, now listen, why don't you put that away before you shoot yourself in the foot with it, okay? You ain't got the sack to shoot a woodchuck.
If you don't stand still, I'm gonna shoot you.
Okay, come on, why don't you just give me that gun?
So, again, good active listening as well in here. He's fully connected and in this scene, regardless of whether he's actually saying a line of dialogue or not. You can see that he's hanging on every word that the other character is saying, really listening, really responding to that in the moment, as if it were the first time he was hearing them say that.
Okay, and get out of here while you still have a chance? You must have at least some sense, right?
Suck my fat one, you cheap dime store hood.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna kill me?
Yeah, Billy, I am.
What I like about that is he's got so much range within this scene, right? You saw that little smile kind of come onto his face, so he was getting really intense and down. But what he's doing the entire time throughout this scene is he's maintaining the power of this character. He never lets that get away from him, which it can so easily happen with a lot of actors. They give up that power for their characters. He doesn't.
I'm gonna get you for this one.
Maybe you will, maybe you won't.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry about that.
Okay, so again, he takes his time. He lets the scene breathe. Those things, again, make this very cinematic. So it's really easy for us watching it to be like, oh, I could see this working on set. I can see how I'd edit this up. And again, you know you're working with a talented actor because they've got good intent. They've got a strong point of view, and they obviously understand how it all works because they can make that happen in the most difficult of scenarios, the audition scenario. Okay, so again, these like video transitions, I'm sure every casting director out there would be like, don't do that. And yet he does it and he got the part. I think part of it is that it's so good, right? That if any other actor did that and their performance wasn't as great as Dacre's performance, it would be obnoxious. But because Dacre unapologetically did that audition and owned the role, you're like, yeah, I guess that works. So the thing I noticed right off the bat is he did this wardrobe change. Why not give them something else to look at, right? Between the slate, well, which was no shirt, the first scene, which was the black leather jacket, and then this one, which kind of actually gives us a sense of the time period that was in, so there was a good choice wardrobe-wise even for this audition. Gives casting something different to see, and whether we noticed it or not, it's just visually probably more appealing to jump between 3 different looks in one self-tape versus the same thing all the way through.
Jesus, this place is a real shithole.
It's okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what's kind of interesting here is we know that this scene actually takes place in a vehicle and he's standing. We didn't need the car, and I think that he made the right choice here because he had this energy as he was standing versus kind of sitting. I think a lot of actors, especially in driving situations, they're going to sit and they're even going to try to like mime like a wheel, and that never ends up working out. This scene is not about the wheel. This scene is not about driving a vehicle. And so the fact that he stood up and just still plays the fact that we're in a car, like you can visually see what he's doing here and it works, but he didn't need to be, again, sitting in a chair, miming this, talking over to the person on the side. And so I think he made a really good choice here. The other thing is you can hear the music in the background, so he's playing a song. Again, I would imagine most casting directors would be like, don't play the music. You know, don't play that. It's going to be distracting, it's not going to work, and yet here, it does work.
I don't see any waves around here, do you? I see waves of shit. Cow shit, Max. Wait, it's just cow shit.
I don't see any cows.
Well, clearly you haven't seen the high school girls yet.
That's not funny.
No, it's not. It's not funny. You know why? Because I'm stuck here. Forever in this nightmare, this...
Again, I'm just gonna point out that he has got his whole body in his performance. An actor that is confident behind the choices that they have made will not be restricted physically in their performance.
Crazy friggin' Hicktown Twilight Zone. And a whore of a mother. I hope she's happy. I hope she's happy.
It's your fault.
What'd you say?
Nothing.
You say it's my fault.
So Dacre's intentionally playing these moments where he can kind of come away. He's dancing to the music. Again, that starts to help sell that he's in the car. He's a little bit wild of a character. And so that stuff really helps. I can appreciate that while being in this scene, he also had to be mindful enough of like turning up the music. I think he did it because the phone's in his hand. But you don't even notice.
Billy, slow down!
But these are new hit friends?
No, I don't know them.
Okay, so he just referenced, he's got different eye lines, and actors really need to be aware of this because it adds so much to like the atmosphere of a scene and helps sell the whole story. So he referenced to like the friends being up here ahead where he, you know, his direction of travel, and yet the eye line reading with the reader we take as the passenger, which again, it's not even where it should be, but yet it plays. The different eye lines is what really sells it.
Well, how would I try and hit him then? Do I get bonus points if I get them all in one go?
Billy! Billy, stop it! That's not funny! Stop it! Stop it, Billy! Stop it!
Woo! That was close, huh? Yeah!
So you really want to show that Billy is kind of dangerous, he's wild, he's reckless, right? And you've got this one scene to do it. So by raising the intensity in the scene to start to dance wildly, to have the music come up, to have his voice start to come up over it, you start to get those elements coming through for this character. You don't really notice what you're getting hit with, but all of this stuff comes through in this audition, which again is why it makes it so strong.
Name's Billy. Nice to meet you.
Dacre Montgomery kills it. He breaks all of the rules for self-tapes, and yet it works. But I think if we can adopt some of what he did in this video on our next self-tapes as an actor, maybe it'll help you kind of stand out and get to the next level, get to the callback and get to the booking where you want to be. See you guys on the next one.